My name is Eddie Asbie. I am the Executive Director of Admissions and Scholarship here at Johnson. I have been with Johnson for over 9 years, and within my role, I lead our residential 1-year and our 2-year MBA programs in Ithaca, and have, of course, a wonderful team that works with me to, of course, bring in the best and the brightest class possible. Once again, as I had mentioned, for the MBA programs that I represent, in particular, I represent that 1-year and 2-year MBA program in Ithaca. Of course, I think it's really important to get a good sense of which MBA program is the best fit for you. But of course, with the variety that we have, of course, a Cornell Tech MBA program located in New York City. We also have a couple of executive MBA programs. We have our executive MBA program or America's program. There is a executive program that really coincides with Queen's University as well as Cornell. There, of course, are some various dual degree options. There's specialized master's programs along with the MBAs that are offered. And then, of course, there is a MBA program with our Tsinghua and our Cornell MBA program. So once again, a lot of different options that are out there for us or for candidates out there, but once again, representing our 1-year and 2-year program. Kind of looking at, historical data with us. This year, of course, in particular, was a fairly good year for us. We processed, over 2,100 applications this year. And, looking at candidates, especially in 2,100, also to be clear, is primarily for our 2-year residential program, where our 1-year residential program, we will get more like a few hundred for that program itself. As far as, the competitiveness, selectivity for those programs, you're probably looking at about, slightly under 30% or so with selectivity in the program. And of course, with yield, doing pretty solid with yield right now, which of course, we're welcoming our incoming class this upcoming weekend. So, the competitiveness of the program is definitely competitive. There's a lot that we see within candidates, but once again, we are looking for the right candidates, the right fit for our program. The first thing that I tell candidates is that they want to make sure that they do their research, really kind of getting a good sense of where the 1-year program versus the 2-year program is beneficial, and then vice versa. Keep in mind that when you think about size between the 1-year, 2-year program, that's a little bit different. So our 1-year program for this past May 2021, we welcomed in a class of 58 in the class, whereas our 2-year program typically has around, last year's class in particular, that we welcome at 292 in that class. So class size is going to be a little bit different, but also the 1-year program is done at an accelerated pace. It begins in May and it ends the following May. So, some of the differences with that 1-year program, not only the size, but also, the typical student that we may see in that program is someone who is looking for, once again, an accelerated MBA, someone who may already have strong networks. Maybe they're more advanced in their career, and they are looking for a fast-paced, MBA program. But also, too, with our 1-year program, you'll see maybe some more students who are, they have dual degrees, or the 1-year program coincides with, the 1-year program coincides with various dual degrees out there. But once again, that's what you're going to see with that 1-year program, and keep it in mind too that there is no internship for that. So I encourage students, if you're looking at the 1-year program, to really to reach out to us, our admissions team, but also to reach out to students. They'll tell you about their experience, with the 1-year program versus the 2-year program. Of course, with the two-year program, being that's our more traditional MBA program out there, you have to think about it. That's 2 years of your life where you're going through 2 years of networking. Of course, you have that internship opportunity, but also, that gives you the opportunity to also spend those 2 years of working on and building on your leadership as well. I would say both programs really are going to help our students really progress in their career. Of course, develop their networks as well. But once again, are you looking to do it within a year? Are you looking to do it within 2 years? The last thing that I will say, though, about the difference too between the 1 year and the 2 year program, the 1 year program also collaborates with the Cornell Tech students during the summer core. So that summer core begins in May. It ends, towards the end of the summer, and that's where Cornell Tech, as well as our 1 year residential students in Ithaca, are spending their time here in Ithaca together as a group. And then, of course, once the fall begins, the Cornell Tech students will then return to New York City. So those are some of the differences that you will see, but I would encourage students to participate in any of our virtual online events that highlights both our 1 year, 2 year program. We have a session called our All Residential MBA sessions, where it is our residential teams here in Ithaca, along with the admissions team at Cornell Tech, that also helps students to really identify which program is the best fit. The first thing that I would ask is probably what your goals are. And also, I would ask you what your goals are. So what is your short-term, your long-term goals? With what you're looking to do, especially if you're making a complete career switch, and depending on what industry that may be, that internship is probably going to be valuable to you, and it's something that you're going to want to partake in. But if you're someone who has, solid experience, strong leadership, strong networks, that with your experience already and the transferable skills that you currently have, I may say, also consider that 1 year program. But also, and probably one of the most important things that I'm forgetting about the 1 year program, to even qualify for that, there are certain certifications that qualify you for the 1 year program, like an advanced degree. So you must have an advanced degree, or there's certain certifications like a CFA or a CPA to even qualify you for that 1 year program. So that's probably one of the bigger things to keep in mind. But yes, that's actually probably where I would start first, to make sure that you qualify first, and then I would go to your goals with the 1 year program versus the 2 year. From the class profile itself, there's going to be a lot of similarities, especially when it comes to, we'll just say, our standardized tests, years of work experience, things like that are going to be fairly similar. Once again, I think probably one of the biggest differences, once again, are really the class size, and once again, the academic credentials or certifications that students may have in a 1 year program versus a 2 year program. And of course, not saying that in a 2 year program, we don't see those with other advanced degrees or certain certifications. But the overall profile, even if you look at our website, it's still going to show some similarities. With the STEM designation itself, it really gives students who are really focuses on the science, the tech side, the opportunity, to really be able to expand, to grow, in these particular areas. We know that, those who are in STEM fields, not only are they looking to get great jobs, but they're also looking to be leaders in their fields. And I think, with a STEM designated program itself, it gives our students the opportunity to not only, of course, get a great job, but also be able to balance things out, speaking more of the tech and, the science side of things, but also kind of the business side of things. But also, I think, probably one of the biggest benefits that a lot of candidates are looking for, especially with international students, is the opportunity of extending their stay, and working in the U.S. in particular for an additional 24 months. So, I think that's really key. Is having that additional time. One, I think a lot of companies, believe that adds value to their organizations. I know a lot of students, of course, are looking to, of course, work, all throughout the world, but also just here domestically here in the U.S. for, some amazing companies. But once again, being that there are some great candidates, some great companies, some great opportunities, for students to really be able to stay, to really be able to expand and to grow. I think that STEM designation is something that is very key, and something that we're proud of, and I'm sure companies are very excited about candidates and students that have that STEM designation. One of the things that I love, which I believe in, and I truly stand by, is one, I believe our team is very transparent with candidates about what we're looking for, where they are, and ways that they can improve or, and really strengthen their application. So what I would say is, one, know that we're here. This is what we're here for. We love the work that we do. We have a team that is just really dedicated to giving you that personalized attention. And I really mean that, like giving you that personalized attention on your application, how we see you being a good fit, or how you see yourself being a good fit in the program, and then, going from there. But I would say too, once again, looking at some of the various virtual events that we have, of course, we're not at the point right now where we're traveling in person, but, listening to our, the different admissions application components that we have, what's important to us. Some of the things that I think about, of course, yes, academics is really important. And we want to know that you're going to come into our program, academically you'll be successful. But we really put a big emphasis on fit, on impact, and really candidates doing their due diligence within the program. So as candidates are going through this step one, I hope that they're just listening to this conversation right now. But two, there are various opportunities of one, reaching out to us, whether there's consultations that we have, whether there are events that we attend with third-party vendors out there, but also, there are tools that we have on our website, our community search tool, where students are able to connect with students. Our current students, you can break it down from 1-year, 2-year program, international students, various immersions that students are a part of. By having those conversations, I think that's where you're going to also have that transparency of what we're really looking for our program, but also we're really looking for someone who wants to be here. I think in the admissions process, we have a good sense of who wants to be here, who has, who's been in touch. I learned things about our program from applicants that I did not know. So, once again, I think, going through the application process, those are just some of the things that we're looking for. But once again, know that we're here to really be able to answer those questions and help you prepare. That's a tough question because every applicant is so different. But one of the things that comes to mind, it really is just kind of more of the goals process and the rationale of getting an MBA. I believe that it's really important that candidates are able to connect the dots on why they're looking to get an MBA. I read a lot of applications that I'm like, this absolutely makes sense. But then also I read a lot of applications, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And it's more than just thinking of, okay, I want to get an MBA to make a career switch here. Once again, thinking about your transferable skills, thinking about how you see yourself being an impactful leader. If the industry that you're looking to go into is something that is, completely different from what you have done throughout your career, like what type of networking, what type of research have you done towards those goals? And, of course, Cornell is a great school, but Cornell also, and any other MBA program out there, doesn't guarantee you the job that you want with the company that you want. Like there's some work that you have to put into it. And I encourage candidates as they go through the process that when you get to the application side, once you get to an interview with us, that you have a clear sense of what those goals are. If it's, once again, on the complete opposite of the spectrum, we want to know that you have done your due diligence, whether it is cold calling people, whether it's talking to our career management center about the industry that you're looking to go into, whether it's getting into summer programs with, Fortune 500 companies, in that industry. It shows that you've done something, that you are committed to this work to really be able to make that move. Of course, I can go on probably about other things as well, but that's one of the things that comes to mind. And that's one of the things that I always stress to candidates, as they think about the application process and making sure that they're doing everything possible. The numbers are important. I don't think that it's something that also just makes or breaks a deal. But once again, one, there's a profile that we have to uphold to, and there's a standard that we are also looking for. But we also understand for a GMAT GRE, for example, it's not it's not something that defines all candidates. There's some candidates, of course, who may be below our average, but they're rock stars, and they come from great schools, great experience. There's great career progression. Once again, they're a great fit for our program. And we know that they're going to do well. We know that the standardized tests, and we really, believe that the standardized test just isn't something that is, really defines a candidate. But we also, for those who do take the test, we really do ask that you give it your all. And if it isn't your best score, really start thinking about ways that you're still preparing, whether it is taking a course at a local institution, doing something like an MBA math, whether you can really quantify things and how you're crunching numbers, within the workplace. That is important to us, because what we really want to do is make sure that you come into this class, that you hit the ground running. Once again, that you the core is real, and I know our students and our alums will tell you that. But once again, that isn't just the deciding factor out there. I think when you look at an applicant pool that is, once again, a strong applicant pool, and you're trying to narrow it down between approximately 60 in the one-year program and 290 for the two-year program, out of that, those thousands of applications, it is tough. Just know that, once again, the numbers aren't everything, but, we do look at years of experience, itself, we want to know why this is the right time. We know that there are candidates who may be, past our average, which our average here is about 5 years, and candidates who may be at, 8, 9, 10 years, but there's a reason why. As an applicant, that's your responsibility to explain why this is the right time. We know that life happens. We know that you've had great opportunities in the workplace, but explain that so that we can, still look at that information and make the best informed decision. But know that at the end of the day, just know that it is a holistic approach. There's so many components of the application that we're looking at. And I don't want candidates just to focus on GMAT GRE, once again, if that is something that candidates will take. I don't think that just a GMAT score really also, indicates how well someone is going to do just in the classroom. Once again, I think that there are a lot of candidates who, once again, they may be below our average on a GMAT, but once again, they were able to demonstrate 4 years out of their academic performance, or even in their graduate performance, that one, they come from great schools, competitive majors, their consistency within their grades, show a lot, but maybe they're just not the best standardized testing. Then, of course, looking at their work experience, and really being able to see the work that they're able to do, and crunching numbers, and the analytical side of candidates, and them really being able to show that within their application, but then also recommenders who are out there also who are highlighting that. I think that those are some key things that candidates really want to keep in mind. Now, if I see someone whose GPA is on the lower end, as well as test scores, and there's no proven, there's no proof of, strong, quantitative preparation, that's where I'm really going to have some concerns. And that's where I'm going to ask candidates to really think about, okay, as you go through this process, what are you doing now, instead of waiting until, okay, business school starts or right before business school starts. I believe that there needs to be a balance out there. Once again, there's many things that we take into consideration with a low GPA. A low GPA in a very competitive major out there, versus a higher GPA in other majors, there are differences out there. So, we really try to dissect what that transcript looks like. We try to really dissect, once again, what courses did you take? How did you challenge yourself? What was the consistency of your grades, from, your freshman year until the time that you graduated? Were your grades consistent? So those are some of the things that I believe are really, really important for candidates to really know. But of course, yes, if you have a lower, GPA, I'm hoping that, of course, that the test score is strong. But once again, that's where that holistic approach really comes into play. And once again, there are many candidates, that I've seen, that candidates, or current students, alums who are in the program, who still may be below on both ends, but there's still something about them that really shows that they're a great fit for the program, and it never fails. They really do succeed in our program, and of course, post-MBA. One, I believe that our program and our community is just an amazing, dynamic community. Being, of course, the largest of the Ivy Leagues out there, being in a great college town in particular, and also just when I think about our students and our culture, our community, this is a place where people want to be here. I don't think that people just, just stumble upon, Cornell and Ithaca. People really want to be here. They're invested in each other. And you not only see that amongst our student body, but also you see that amongst our faculty, definitely our leadership. So, when candidates really think about what programs they're looking for, why they're thinking of Johnson, really think about, what you're going to get, know that you're going to get a family mentality. I believe that our community is a selfless community. I know that at the end of the day, candidates are looking to get the best job, but I've seen students and alums, who have recommended their classmates for jobs with companies, and they push each other, they study hard, they use their own personal network. So that's one of the things that I will say that you're going to get, but also too from the admissions team. We love the work that we do. So as you go through this process and you have any questions, reach out to us. I'm always willing to have conversations with prospective candidates about what the next steps, what it looks like, if this is a good fit, if it's not. We're a very honest team. So that's what I really want candidates to know. But submit the best application possible. Take your time.